Greetings, YouTube. Sometimes before I even pull up a forum post, I know that what I'm about to talk about is going to divide the community. I remember like it was yesterday when Kabam introduced Tier 5 basic catalysts to the game. The same month, I want to say, that we got just a small preview of Tier 5 class, or excuse me, not class catalyst, that was to come. Tier 5 basic catalyst fragments. Same month. We got told very, very abruptly that 6 stars were coming to the game. We hadn't really even been able to max out our 5 stars yet, and 6 stars were a thing. You know what happened? A lot of the great people, one of the people I was closest with in the YouTube community, the Idolist, and for you OGs out there, you remember how great the Idolist was on YouTube. He quit. He said, I'm done. I just spent so much money, so many hours, so much of my life trying to get 5 stars to max rank, and now I've got to start all over with 6 stars. Kabam knew that we lost a lot of good players, including some really high spending whales when 6 stars were introduced. They made a mistake, in my belief, of taking 5 stars too fast from rank 4 to rank 5, and at least not, if they're going to do it, fine, at least not giving us a moment to breathe before the new chase had begun. But their belief is, for the people at the very top, the people that have like maybe over 10 rank 4 6 stars right now, for all I know, they're bored with the game. And they know that only a few items remain for them to be able to take those 6 stars up to rank 5. And Kabam has a choice right now, as we will probably see that final puzzle piece for rank 5 6 stars in Act 8. Do they do what they did last time, which proved to be a mistake, at least in my book, and talk about 7 stars when we're still trying to max rank our 6 stars? Or do they add something else that can give us something to the effect of a rank 5 or rank 6 even, who knows, 6 star, without introducing 7 stars? Keep in mind the next progression, as much as we hate to say it, of Crystal, because right now Cavalier Crystals are 2 progression levels behind the top progression. Thronebreaker Crystals would have nothing but 4 stars, 5 stars, and 6 stars. But keep in mind, right now Cavalier Crystals have 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, and 6 stars. So the assumption would be that Thronebreaker Crystals would have the same drop rates, but make it 4 stars, 5 stars, 6 stars, and 7 stars. They just move everything up 1. And that would cause a lot of people to quit. That would cause some content creators to quit. I don't think I would quit, because I'm not chasing the rainbow, it feels like, anyway. I mean, obviously, I'm trying, but I'm not in a Alliance War Alliance, and I'm so thankful for that. I still do map 6 of Alliance Quest, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm not chasing that carrot. Let me remind you all, before we look at this post, by the way, let me remind you all that the only thing that we need now to take a 6 star to rank 5 is an item that we haven't seen yet in the game. And that is Tier 6 Class Catalyst. We've seen Tier 5 Class Catalyst, we've seen Tier 6 Basic, and we've seen Tier 3 Alpha. The only thing we haven't seen yet is Tier 6 Class Catalyst. And my assumption is in the next, hopefully not 6 months, but maybe, certainly next year, we will see those. That is going to dictate that, especially the people at the very, very top, and that 1% of the 1% of the whales, will get their 6 stars to max rank fairly quickly. So, what would you rather do with the elephant in the room? Would you rather bring on 7 stars or relics? You might see it as a lose-lose. But that's what Kabam's planning for right now, to try to keep the players at the top from chasing the ever-moving goalpost of an account we don't technically own. We just rent. We're just leasing this bit of code. Are relics still going to be a thing? Or has the idea been shelved with the problems going on? So Space Jumper kind of asked this question as a, the game's still broken. Please tell me we're not bringing in relics. I knew there was a silver lining somewhere to the last year of issues, Garrett says. Either relics or 7 stars are coming in the very near future, Icon says. And I know a lot of people are going to read that and be like, no, Icon, no, it can't be true. It's just naturally how things have gone in the past. Kabam Jax commented right after Icon. Yes! Now, he says this, like, you can tell the tone of the comments up here are like, please, God, no. Jax is interpreting it like, yeah! Let's get pumped up about relics so we can take your units and your cash and make your champions better. Yes, relics are still in active development. Timelines are always uncertain, but we should have more information to share in the near future. This shouldn't come as a surprise, but for people who thought maybe they'd be gone, because we were talking about relics years ago, right? At least the last couple years. Yeah, people seem to forget that relics originally pitched as an alternative to 7-star champions. We are either getting them 7 stars or some other form of champion advancement in the near future. Now that most high-end spenders who want to max out their prestige have done so, Kabam needs to come up with a new carrot to fuel that race. Wicket 329? Exactly. 6-star released shortly after 5 stars, rank 4, became the meta, pretty much right as the first 5-star rank 5 became available in the game. And that is 100% true, and again, it divided the community like nothing else. I have no idea what the next stage will be. I don't even know what I hope it'll be. I'm not opposed to relics or 7 stars or whatever in concept, but implementation is what will matter. And then Bitter Steel says, it seems that whenever 7 stars or relics are floated as ideas as the next stage of progression, people hate them both with equal fervor. I never understood that. You kind of have to decide which one you'd rather see as the next part of the game. It's inevitable, right? People hated 6 stars, they quit the game, but the game still advanced and new people joined. Now, Kabam did some really smart things, like they got rid of the best crystal ever, the old featured 5-star crystal that you could hoard hundreds of thousands of crystal shards to keep Kabam Mike up at night and almost guarantee yourself, say, a 5-star blade if you opened, say, 300,000 5-star shards worth of 15,000 cost crystals. And of course, they changed it to a 4.2% drop rate. And then they invented Grandmaster crystals, and then featured Grandmaster crystals, and then Cavalier crystals, and then featured Cavalier crystals. And suddenly, the Marvel Casino of Champions was making more money as a casino than it ever had before. I hope we won't see either relics nor 7 stars for at least 2 years, but looking at how things are going, I think we will see them in the very near future. 6-star pulls are very boring nowadays. I think it's time for 7 stars, Skylord 7000 says. That might be a thumbnail comment. I dread the arrival of relics, just another monetized, pay-to-win addition I foresee. Make MCOC like all the other games, like it with equipment that you have to keep up with. If you were to give me a choice between relics and 7 stars, just because I've made the transition successfully from 5 to 6 stars, personally, I'd be more comfortable with 7 stars because I've never played a game with relics, and I don't really know much about it. I'm sure once I learned, I'd be like, all right. But if you give me a new crystal that just advances all the stars up 1, I can do that. If you start saying, let's equip things or have relics, I sort of feel like I'm going back to like my Super Nintendo RPG days. Kabam Mike did say at the end of this, man, it's a hard edge to walk. People don't like rewards because they're not pushing them further. That's a weird sentence because I think he's missing a couple words. Like it should say people don't like old rewards or outdated rewards or basic rewards. People like rewards when they're like July 4th rank up deals. And they don't want the next step in progression. But without that, there's nothing to reward. In a game like this, there will always be the next thing on the horizon, and if there isn't, then there's nothing to keep pushing it. AKA, guys and gals, if we don't bring in 7 stars or relics or both, the game's going to die. And suddenly you won't have anything to complain about because there won't be a game to play. I actually do buy that argument because I saw how true it was when 6 stars were introduced, as much as people complained. I just have to say this. I still think the death of 5 stars is highly exaggerated. I think 5 stars can clear any content that doesn't have a gate restriction that doesn't allow them. And the difference in how much it takes still right now to take a 6 star to rank 4 versus just taking up a 5 star is laughably cheaper, especially for 6 stones and awakening gems. So I'm going to stay positive, but I know this is a difficult subject. Let me know what you would like to see, relics or 7 stars or both, in the comments below. I appreciate you humoring me for a longer than normal video to discuss a very important topic.